The meeting as circulated is supposed to have commenced about 40 minutes ago. A tripartite meeting between the Parliament, the three non-teaching unions in our universities, and of course, the Federal Ministry of Education, to be represented by the Honorable Minister. Having waited for over 40 minutes now, and no clear words from the Ministry, we have no option then to proceed, hoping that he might join us in the course of the deliberation.
When trouble started from the universities, it started from the year 1993, when the government of the federal government under Major General Babangida approved disparity in the salaries of workers in the university sector. Prior to that, we had a common salary structure for the entire staff in the universities. That salary, you grow, whether you are teaching or non-teaching, you grow according to your cadre, according to your level. But the disparity that was introduced, where we now have teaching staff salary, elongated university academic salary structure, and elongated university staff salary structure, caused the problem of the strike of 1993 that snowballed and continued since that time. We had agreements signed with the government in 2001 and 2001. That agreement was reviewed from 2007 to 2009, which culminated into an agreement signed on 5th November 2009. The agreement, among others, covered the end allowances, salary structure, new salary structure that was introduced, countries and convents for teaching and non-teaching. Then end allowances. You also covered the staff school, funding of staff school, which was also replicated as in 2001 agreement that such university staff school should be funded by the government, among others. At the time, after the 5th November 2009, when the agreement was signed, government implemented the salary aspect of that agreement to the fullest. That was up till now we are receiving that salary. But all other aspects, like funding the university, the staff school matter, and others have been hanging. Now, it came to staff school. Government from beginning have been funding the staff school. Most of these staff school are over 20-something years. University staff school have been over 20-something years. Approved by council. In some of them, approved by the act establishing the universities. So the staff school in the university did not come from the blues. Most of them are out of the acts establishing the university. Most of them are decisions of the council, which is also the decision of government. Because council, as far as we are concerned, the university is the represent government. And any decision taken by the council is decision approved by government. The council approves appointments. Council approves running of new programs in the universities, which government funds through its annual budget. In the same way, these staff schools were established, as I said earlier, either by act or by the council, approved decision of council, and have been funded until an obnoxious call circular from the National Salary and Wages Commission came out in 2014, asking the vice chancellors to remove the names of personnel in the staff school from the budget of the university. Specifically, it says that any institution that does that will be seen as to be harboring or employing or keeping ghost workers. On that, we wrote, SANU wrote, protested to the federal government. We wrote to the president, we wrote through the Secretary of Government of Federation, we wrote to the minister complaining. Then later we declared trade dispute with the Prime Minister of Labour. After several meetings, Prime Minister of Labour decided to send this matter to for interpretation or whether council or government should fund the staff schools in the universities. This matter was sent to the National Industrial Court Abuja here. After several proceedings in the court, we were represented by a lawyer, may she rest in peace, late Kazim, who died just last month. On 5th December precisely, 2016, judgment was delivered by the National Industrial Court and awarded the case to SANU, which interpreted the clause in our agreement. And the same clause in that agreement is in the same in NASU and in ASU as regards the staff school. The content of the section of agreement remained the same. So if we got this judgment as SANU, it applies to NASU and also applies to ASU, as the content are the same. Now, thereafter, we wrote and communicated the government through the Honorable Minister of Labour and Employment, asking for implementation of that NIC judgment. Prior to that, because of that obnoxious circular from the government, a lot of our members, over 200 or 2,000 staff in the staff school in the university, have been laid off, sent out of job without any compensation, without any salary. A lot of them are still there till now. Over 60-something or 70-something Usmanu Danfodio University Sokoto. Over 50-something at Federal University of Technology Akure, University of Nigeria Nsukka, and others. So on receipt of this judgment, we forwarded a copy to the Honorable Minister of Labour, asking for the implementation of that judgment. We wrote government reminding them in July, again in August, there was none. That was what necessitated, part of what necessitated our strike of September, 11 September 2017. As I'm telling you now, our members are still outside the university, not working, for over 3 years, from 2014 to date. That's one of our jobs. Staff school, yes sir. That is the issue of staff school. We got this judgment. The judgment is very clear. On meeting with the government side on 19th, they showed us a circular which seems to counter that of 2014. On going through that circular, it was even more obnoxious than the one we contested in court, which we believe is not implementation of NIC judgment. It is part of our grounds. Now, we are aware of the end allowances that the government has not paid us from 2009 to 2012. Part of it was paid in 2013 when the immediate past administration, federal government administration, released 30 billion naira to the university sector. This was spread and paid. The IMC, the Implementation Monitoring Committee of the 2009 agreement, thereafter sent a bill of 96 billion naira as outstanding. Since this government came on board, we have been pressurizing that they should pay the balance of arrears of that end allowance. It was part of the reason why we went on strike in September with this, with this staff school matter. Another is that the shortfall in salaries. For the past 1 year, our members have been receiving fractional salaries.
So let me get you.
I'm giving 2 issues. One issue is staff school matter.
I am all right. I follow the sequence. There is no intervention from the government.
So that's what I'm coming. That I said the first tranche of 30 billion naira was released in 2013. When government released 23 billion naira. It was during our strike that we met with the government and signed an MOU where government said that government had released 23 billion naira for the entire staff of the university as part payment of end allowances. We have it here in writing, black and white. And that it was agreed that a committee of 4 persons, interministerial, Accountant General's Office, Budget Office, Ministry of Finance, and Ministry of Education shall sit, collect submission from the various universities, and then distribute this money to the universities for payment. I made it very clear when they were talking of unions. I said that salaries are not paid by unions. Though we are working in the university, we join union, but we are paid as staff of universities. And there is steps for payment of salaries and allowances. The allowances we are talking about supposed to be shuffle of what ought to have been paid between 2009 and 2012. So it is part of salary. The way salaries were paid should be the way that these allowances should be paid, as it was done in the first tranche of 2013. I made it very clear that whatever the committee will discuss, this money should go down to the universities through the bursary department that knew who worked for what during that time of 2009 and 2000, and that's what. Because I may be a director now, but maybe within the period of 2009 and 2012, somebody may be a principal officer or a chief, as the case may be. So you are not going to earn on salary of what to earn or earn allowance of what to earn now, but what to wear between 2009 and 2012, and only the budget department, which pays salaries, will be able to identify which staff worked during that time and as what. So we finished this and left. As well as administrators and people who know what goes in government, we didn't go into asking who does what. We submitted our own papers to them. That's our templates for payment, which was collected from all the branches and sent to the ministry. We were surprised to get information or letters from the Federal Ministry of Education to Accountant General Office, from Accountant General Office to National Universities Commission, and down to the universities, bringing out the schedule for the payment of the end allowances, sharing the 23 billion naira on union basis. The teaching staff, 89%. The 3 non-teaching staff, 11% of the total of 23 billion naira. We were astonished and disturbed. We wrote to government and asked for explanation, the criteria for sharing this money. Because you see the company say, teaching, non-teaching, this university and that. On asking this question, we didn't receive any reply. We went on strike. That was this strike we started. On 4th December 2017, we started the strike, asking for explanation. We were not called for discussion until 19th of December. We attended a meeting at the National Office where the ministry accepted that they made a mistake. And it was their fault. That ASU, according to them, that ASU hijacked the process. I say no, ASU couldn't have hijacked the process. We agreed on a committee. They said they hijacked the activity of the committee. Did they force a letter from Ministry of Education attaching the sharing part that allocation to Accountant General's Office? Did they also force a staff of Accountant General's Office to communicate the same allocation to NUC? Did they also force NUC to say the same thing to the Vice Chancellor? If as we did all this, why is it that even the decision at our own meeting was not taken, where the money was supposed to go to the universities? Universities are supposed to go according to the template that was signed by each individual, decide what anybody pays. Rather, the money was shared. So that we try to ask, is there any criteria why University of Lagos, that is over 10 of some universities in Nigeria, received 23 million, why FUTA received 300 and something million naira? We're asking a question. Why is it that all other universities got the money? University of Nigeria Nsukka was not giving money. University of Ilorin was not giving money. We are all aware that these universities that were not giving any money at all from the 23 million naira had problems with ASU at the national level. In other words, it was ASU that shared the money and not the ministry. These are the times we are talking. And we are saying that should ASU continue to hijack the responsibilities of councils and university management, it is a dangerous trend in the university subsector that has to be checkmated for now before it snowballs into trouble in the university. Salaries and allowances are not paid by union. Money is not given to union to share to each member because it's not a bonus. It's not a Father Christmas. Government is not Father Christmas. And above all, there are supposed to be rules, procedures, accounting procedure for disbursement of money in any government sector, especially the university, the citadel of learning. Any money to be paid must pass through the audit of a university. Any money that must be paid must pass through, must be generated, the figure must be generated by the payroll of the budget department of a university. These procedures were jettisoned in the sharing of the money that we are talking about, the 23 billion naira. We wrote to government rejecting the so-called pittance that was given to our members and asked for the criteria for sharing the money. The meeting of 19th, of course, government, because permanent secretary or minister of state or they represent government. Government has accepted having made a mistake in the way the money was shared. So that is for the end allowances. Let me just take up one other item, and my colleagues will talk. That is the issue of a salary shortfalls. As I was talking, our members have been receiving salary shortfalls. At the point of meeting on 20th September, it was agreed. They showed us some papers that Accountant General's office has released mandates for the payment of shortfalls to various universities. We got the papers and okay until we can mark it. Unfortunately, sir, which this agreement also stated that the issue concerning shortfall should be a thing of the past. We agreed and we endorsed. But we were surprised that at the end of September, there was shortfall in salaries in the universities. At the end of October, when salaries were paid, there was shortfall in October. There was also shortfall in November and even in December. And that also committed into our grievances in going on strike in December. Because the issue of shortfall, which government have promised should be a thing of the fact, has continued to rear its ugly head every month. And the arrears have not been paid. And even as we are standing now, more salaries are also paid fractionally. So thank you very much, Honorable Chairman and members of Stop at Country Starting. As part of the agreement of 2009, government promised to elongate their salaries from chief to countries 15. That was part of the agreement signed. Up till now, since 2009, when that agreement was signed, we have made everything possible for government to implement that aspect of agreement. It has not been possible up to the time I'm talking to you. Technologies officially stopped at 13, contrary to that aspect of the agreement. Thank you very much, sir.
As January, we had a strike in January last year, and we had an agreement, an MOU with government. Chairman, we will endeavor to deposit some of these MOUs with you, so that you will have a clear idea. We started the struggle because the issue of what we now refer to as payment of amputated salaries has been on for a while, and we are well aware of the fact that the National Assembly actually intervened at a point when the President asked for VAME.
As brief as possible, yet as detailed as possible.
Like we're all aware, I'm not sure if there is any university in this country that is rated among the first 500 in the world to be of standard in terms of the outputs the graduates will produce, and so on and so forth. There is none. And that is a concern to us, we that work within that environment. And we feel that incessant strike actions that always come up.
Non-teaching staff unions in the university decided to key in so that corruption can be put away as far as the university system is concerned.
That is I think the kernel of what they are saying. I'm one of those who are disadvantaged by the fact that an allowance was not released to the University of Ilorin. And in fact, they came to me. They placed an advert and they came to enlist my support. And I must confess that up till now, I've been unable to understand why Ilorin was not given until one of the chairmen now made a point here. And that quickly comes to my mind and say, oh, so it's an ASU thing. If an allowance is meant for generality of staff, why should our problem with ASU now serve as a stumbling block to other unions getting their own share? So I must thank you for properly educating me along that line, and I will now know how better to respond to you. But more importantly, Mr. Chairman, I've always emphasized this thing, and luckily I have emphasized it severally in this particular committee and the House Committee on Health Institutions. All these institutions, ministry with multiple unions, government should be bold enough to stop negotiating with unions on an ad hoc basis.
And it's quite unfortunate that the ministry, indeed the minister is not here for us to interact with. Our people say you cannot shave somebody's head at his back. I would suggest, Chair, if you will allow me, that we seek another appointment with the Honorable Minister, or at least his directors at the ministry, to sit with us, and then we will look at what we can do so that we can advise. That is one. Two, the other leg is the position where square pegs are placed in round holes. I think, on a general note, Chair, we need a retreat where NUC will be there, where ASU will be there, where NASU will be there, where the ministry will be there, where we will be there, the Senate, in fact the National Assembly will be there. We will all sit down and iron some of these things and chart the way forward for the universities, some of these things that are deeper than just sitting in the meeting and doing it. A retreat that will be maybe 1, 2, 3 days, that will be sorted out. That will be my suggestion for now. Thank you, Chair.
It touches on several fundamentals of the education system, and I'm troubled again that the ministry is actually not here. I'd be terribly bad, although ordinarily we should decide to still give them the benefit of the doubt as to what is actually responsible for this. This meeting initially at decision-making level was supposed to have taken place yesterday. But realizing that most ministers hide behind the PEC issue, we decided to push the meeting today, even though I knew several members were supposed to also have traveled for some other engagement outside Abuja. I pleaded with so many, and they shaped that official engagement, which was earlier planned ahead of this meeting, so that we could all meet to address this very, very fundamental issue. One can understand our regret that the ministry is not here. You have raised a number of issues, and going forward, it will be absolutely difficult for us to try to make anything meaningful without the ministry. Again, I'm therefore compelled to plead with my honorable colleagues and, of course, the representatives of non-teaching staffs of our universities, that we have to agree to take another date.